Hey everybody, welcome to Soren Pair, Why Not Together?
Hi.
So we are not calling this an episode because we don't have one ready.
Because we don't have one.
So this is the version of no episode.
Yes.
Which, we honestly, and remember, Soren Pair is soaring together to explore new adventures while inspiring others to create their own. Even when the adventures elude us. Say hi to Coco, everybody.
Yes. She wanted to come up. She doesn't usually.
Yeah, so those on the podcast, our dog who never jumps up on your lap since the first episode, decided to
say hi.
To say hi because she knew that we were lacking
Yes.
material. But so really, we didn't want to stop putting out an episode every week. I think we've talked about the fact that we'll probably wrap up season 1 right before the holidays, take a little break, and then start up again at the beginning of the year. And, we've done 29 episodes.
Wow.
And I know.
Wow.
And, we've really enjoyed it, and we want to keep doing it, and we hope you guys do as well. But, it's challenging sometimes, as busy as our lives are, to, what are we going to talk about this week?
Mm-hmm.
Eventually we're going to be out there traveling and doing our thing. But in the meantime, it's all about getting ready to do that stuff, right?
Right. Yeah, just, going on with our weekly jobs and have-tos.
Right, which is not what we want to talk about unless you want to watch paint dry in our episode. But I think if I were to, what comes to mind, Sandy, if I were to think of something is like, what do you do when you have a moment? And explain what having a moment is. Like when we have a moment, what are we talking about?
Having a moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
What does that mean? And how do we handle that? Or don't?
Yeah. If I'm having a moment, Jim backs off.
I'm a silent supporter.
Tell him, Jim, I'm having a moment. It just means, that I need to take a deep breath, just reset, and I may just be having, I may be snarky, or I may just be having a little internal temper tantrum, or whatever it is. I just need to step away so I don't say something negative.
Well, and even if you are feeling that negative moment, I think it's good to, allow yourself to have the moment.
Absolutely.
And so I
just don't want to explode it on you.
Well, I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
But truth be told, Soren Pair is having a moment.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that we, next week we'll be ready with something new to talk about.
Right.
It just didn't line up this week, and we don't want to force the conversation, right? Because it's like, today we're going to talk about how you watch paint dry and all the different varieties of the color of paint that dry at different,
different speeds.
Exactly.
Yes. Speaking of, we did paint today.
That's probably why we're using that metaphor a lot.
Probably. Yeah. We had the, what do you call it?
The skull heads?
Well, yeah, the
Dia de los Muertos.
There you go. I can't say it like he does. Yeah. So I bought them, a few years ago, these ceramic skulls, and they're really cool. And so I got the paint, and we've been painting all day. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, which is something we have not done together.
I love it.
Speaking of why not
creative,
together, why not paint skulls together? So you are a much better, I think, more refined painter than I am, but I certainly gave it my best shot.
I think you're doing great. You're doing great. He's doing white, and I'm doing the black.
Yeah, so it's a white ceramic head, and I decided to paint it white. Isn't that creative? Just about as exciting as watching paint dry. Her skull was black, which is pretty cool, the base.
They're pearlescent. You're falling, Coco. Get down. There you go. It's the pearlescent paint. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's interesting that the base of your skull is black and mine is pearly white.
Uh-huh.
But then we're, of course, with the Dia de los Muertos, everything's very colorful, so we're filling in the blanks. But it before I knew it, 3 or 4 hours had gone by. Maybe this is why we don't have anything tonight, because we spent our afternoon
Squirrel.
painting ceramic skulls.
Uh-huh.
Actually, it was very therapeutic. I agree with you. I mean, I'm not like the type to normally do that, but I have to admit, it was interesting to really get lost.
Yes.
In kind of, like, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to make this color stand out? And oh my gosh, there's a mistake. And
or layering the colors and blending them and coming up with new colors. I love that part of it.
So we're not talking about paint drying. We're talking about wet paint. So that's a little more interesting.
A little more interesting, yeah.
But the point being is we did something different this week that we didn't really plan. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
And it's very therapeutic for us today.
Oh, yeah.
So Soren Pear is painting its way through this week. Because, I think one of the things that I think everyone can relate to is sometimes you feel like your life week after week is regurgitating the same old stuff.
Right?
We both, had long weeks in work, which we're not going to talk about.
No.
And, we did our normal stuff. And I think a lot of times we feel like we're on this treadmill where, okay, reset next week.
Grinding it out. Yeah.
Same thing again. And I think a lot of times, even though obviously day to day is different and jobs are different, but I think a lot of times I know that my life feels like it's just a repetition of one week to the next with a little variety. And, same commute.
Well, you've done it for so long. I don't know how he's done this, because honestly, I joke about driving pencils into my eyes just to keep it exciting. But
I mean, how do you find excitement in a very routine-oriented, typical life? And that really is, and still bring your enthusiasm and your whole self into what you're doing.
You got to create it. Yeah.
And part of it is attitude, and part of it is,
bringing humor and all those things that we always talk about, and those do make a difference. But sometimes you just need to have a moment and reset it, right? So
this is our resetting, having a moment on Soren Pear, and we even debated, like, should we even do a video? Should we even do a podcast today? And we thought, you know what? Because again, our whole thing has been, we're going to be very transparent.
Totally.
We're going to be very honest and kind of take you on this journey with us. And this is a bumpy week. This would have been episode 30. It's not necessarily, unless it turns into an episode, but we didn't want to start by saying, welcome to episode 30. It's about nothing. Or it's about, we're just saying hi.
Well, I hope you guys have had a great week. There's been a lot going on. And we were joking about, we could talk about the election. No.
What side are you on? The right or the left?
Thank you. We promised we would never talk politics, and we're going to hold to that one.
Yeah, no thank you. I will be glad when we all get past this and,
Me too.
Stay together as a country.
Me too. Me too. I think we're in a definite time of change, and we're going to feel the growing pains at times. And I think that's some of what we're feeling today. And we're just working through it in our own way.
Right. And so what I'm trying to get from what we're talking about here is sometimes you just got to embrace the fact that, it is what it is. You know?
And sometimes nothing is exactly what's called for, right?
Yeah. Instead of trying to force something to happen, just accept the fact that an empty space is what's called for right now. Mm-hmm. That you don't need to fill it with something, So we're doing something different, which is nothing.
Yes.
back in the 90s, some guy named Jerry Seinfeld made a whole show about
Nothing.
nothing.
Yes, he did, didn't he?
And I think he made a lot of money even. I'm not suggesting that this episode will inspire a whole bunch of podcasts to
Do nothing.
to do a whole season about nothing. But I think embracing, if I can get a little metaphysical here, Sandy, embracing nothingness sometimes is exactly what's called for, so that you can appreciate the something, the everything.
Yeah. It's the contraction before the expansion.
Right, and it's the emptiness. It's that pregnant pause before the sound comes out. It's the sound. It's the space between the notes.
How many metaphors can we come up with?
I'm just getting started.
Jeez.
We're making something out of nothing. No, but I mean, we're doing well. We had a good week. It wasn't a down week, so we're not trying to say, oh, we made it through somehow. No, it just we came to the point of what are we going to talk about? And we usually try to grab a subject or something that grabs us during the week, and
we just didn't get back to it this week. Yeah. So that's where we're at. And I mean, this Friday, this week, somebody's having a birthday.
Oh boy. It's all about this person. He is so egotistical. I mean, all he ever does is go on and on and on about his birthday. Who is this person?
Do tell.
Oh, that would be this guy named Jim Sorensen, whose birthday happens to fall on National Bosses Day, October 16th. So what I always do to my poor employees, since I have people work for me, I like do a countdown. I think I was writing on the whiteboard, 11 days left to double bday, bosses and birthday, that your boss is having a birthday.
No pressure whatsoever, right?
So, I expect 2 cards, 2 gifts, and I start telling them what I like. And most of them don't take me seriously. But I'm hoping one does.
Jeez.
I joke about it. I think it's just fun because, I mean, why not celebrate the birthday the entire month? And since 16 is smack dab in the middle of October, I think there should be a build up to the birthday, and then kind of a cooling down ending with Halloween.
Right.
In fact, it ends with Day of the Dead, November 1st. Also,
well, tell them what we're gonna do. On Saturday.
Oh yes, and we'll probably send a video on this, but I wanted to take a Saturday off because usually I'm tuning. And we want to take a helicopter ride around Sedona.
Yeah.
And possibly a Jeep and a helicopter ride. We haven't landed on where yet. But so we will probably share our exciting video and or experience with you.
Sedona. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So we will post that video on our YouTube channel. In fact, what we plan to start doing besides episodes is shorter videos here and there of Soren Pair and what we do.
Right.
So that is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that.
I am too.
And that will definitely not be boring or the normal thing to be up in a helicopter over the Red Rocks in Sedona. So that is exciting. I'm looking forward to that. It'll be a lot of fun. So I still thought I would share a Sandism with everybody.
Okay.
Because I had skipped one and I just feel like I owe everybody a Sandism.
Okay.
So the Sandism for this week is, and the people rejoiced.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yes. So, Jim and Sandy, what is your subject today? And the people rejoiced.
And the people rejoiced, yes. Isn't that Monty Python?
I don't know.
I don't know if that's it might be Monty Python.
Well,
I don't remember where I got that.
I mean, wherever you may have gotten it, it's all funneled through you. So, even if it's like originated somewhere else, and we're not saying these are all original, like saying some of them are very unique.
Yeah.
But some of them may not be originally from you, but
Mm-hmm.
everybody on this channel and getting to know you, it's another Sandism.
Yeah.
It's how you communicate.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah.
In my smart aleck way.
Yes. But the people did rejoice that we shared a
The people
Sandism.
rejoiced.
So we appreciate you hanging with us. It's a shorter session this week, but you know, it is what it is, and we'll just keep going with the flow, and we look forward to our episode next week. We'll also post a video about our tour of Sedona.
Yes, and before we go, our good friend Lori had surgery, and we just want to send her a big hug, and we hope you're doing better. We love you, and we're thinking of you and sending you lots of healing and prayers.
Absolutely, Lori. Our thoughts are with you, and we know that you're going to keep getting better.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you and I will perform again
Soon.
like we used to at the Interfaith Community Church that we performed together for many years. So we send you healing and prayers, Lori, and only the best.
Yes. Okay.
All right, everyone.
Have a great week, you
Have
guys.
a great week.
We'll see you next week.
Take care.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.